Welcome, boys and girls, to another episode of Jets Afterburners. Here's your host, co-host, Daniel, right here, and Liam, right there, and a special guest right there. You see him at the bottom?
Hey,
Gunny. Gumby's here, baby, from the New York Jets Situation Report. You made time for us, man. We are ecstatic to have you on the show, my man.
Yes, sir.
Had to be here, gentlemen. Appreciate the invitation. I mean, exciting times, right? We're talking about the New York Jets freaking schedule release. So when y'all gave me the invite, I couldn't run here fast enough. So glad to be here, my guys.
I'm ecstatic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You look at the schedule right here. I'm gonna post it, and this is the official one. This is it here, and I absolutely love it.
Could we just shout out Matt O'Leary real quick?
Oh my god!
Yeah. Got to.
Holy smokes.
Matt O'Leary with the leak at 11:49 p.m. yesterday.
The connections that the guy had. I love it.
Yeah. When he says sources, he means sources. He ain't.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Joe like Douglas is a source.
Outsiders, they use sorcerers, but this guy uses actual sources.
Sorcerers.
I'm telling you.
Sorcerers.
I love this because right out of the gate, this is an all-in year. No more excuses. This is what we've been waiting for the longest here. Week 1, off we're running. And we're playing, there's no excuses, in an arena with grass against the NFC's best. And that's the San Francisco 49ers.
And not only that, I don't know if you guys knew this, Aaron Rodgers is undefeated in Monday Night Football games.
Oh, that's right.
He's 6-3 against the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, in the regular season. Not so great in the playoffs, but the only time that we'd be seeing these guys in the postseason is the Super Bowl. So, just saying.
I mean, 20 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 104 quarterback rating. Like, a lot of people were upset about this matchup. And, of course, I won't lie. I was one of the individuals I kind of wanted a softball to start off the season. Give my quarterback, you know what I'm saying, a chance to kind of get into the game. His Achilles was torn last year. We got Tyron Smith, we got Morgan Moses, we got Simpson. Let's get these guys jutting a little bit. Mike Williams, a little hampered maybe because of the ACL. So I'm not gonna lie, I wanted a softball. With a softball freaking game, give me the Patriots, give me the Titans. Let's go ahead and kind of ease these guys in, right? But in all actuality, man, I agree with you, Dan. It's this is the hardest game on our schedule. I think that the 49ers are the best team we're going to be facing up against.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to go ahead and hit them day one. And if you think about it, the 49ers tend to start off a little bit slow. So it's probably the best time to kind of catch those guys sleeping. But it's going to be a good matchup for this team, man. The defense is going to be fun. I think it's going to be a defensive matchup, not really much of an offensive one. But I digress. I'm talking too much. It's going to be a fun season opener.
And that's that narrative. I totally understand. You know, okay, maybe if we get someone, I'm not going to say easy because we're the New York Jets, right? Like we don't know. We have no idea. Nothing's easy. So with that being said, all right, if we get someone like the Texans, the first game of the season, we could start popping it into first gear, second week of the season, maybe with New England, and then we start revving up. But this is the narrative I do not respect. I'm going to share this here. And this is what pisses me off the most. Let me see. Let me just make sure that I am on this here. Yep. This is nationally. This is the representation from a Jets fan, longtime Jets fan, Mike Greenberg. Again, Jets fan, right? You have two of them. You have Rich Eisen, who I respect the hell out of, and even Greeny. I love Greeny. He's a Jets fan that I like him, But this right here showcases why so many fans outside of Jets fans are like, ugh, the Jets. Like I was in some Twitter spaces in actuality, a 49ers one, and I asked, what was your first inclination when you heard it was the Jets? And they said, and it's going to be defensive, but we're going to start the year 1-0. 1-0. Wow, man, that's total disrespect, but well merited. But you know why they say that? Because of crap like this.
But before you play the video, oh, okay. We do not own the rights to this video, all right? You just got to throw it out there.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly. We're just showcasing it out there.
Yep.
This will be quick. Thank you.
Say is, Alan, you've hosted this show, right? Mm-hmm. Get ready. I'm not sure I can make it through the rest of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, the only thing I asked for as the NFL schedule release came out was do not let the Jets open on Monday night.
No.
Whatever else happens, don't let the Jets open on Monday night. Oh. So what was I just told? Hey, Roger, what did I do to you? What did I do? We just got together at the draft. It was so nice. I do the best I can to
Another
be as
Jet
friendly
fan,
as I can
Alan
to everybody. The Jets are opening on Monday night at San Francisco.
Oh, good, a road game.
Against one of the toughest
They're laughing at the Jets.
defensive lines in the world. I have seen this movie. It ends quickly and very, very badly. I'm saying this right now. This is not fair. I want an investigation. This is anti-large market bias that we have going on right now. I want an investigation into this. I'm telling you, I don't think we should send Aaron on the trip. Do not send Aaron on the trip. No. Play, who do we get? Tyrod Taylor? Play him in week one.
Sounds good to me.
Do not
sacrificial
send him
lamb
out there.
Put him out
That's
there.
it. That's
Taylor's
it.
used to getting hurt in the first game of the season anyway.
Get Zach Wilson back.
Oh.
Get Zach Wilson. Let him start week one.
Wow. Guys, I'm done with
that. That is freaking pathetic.
That, you know, and if it was a different show, we'd use certain expletives on that.
Yeah.
That's not the New York Jet fan base.
No.
That's not the fan base.
No.
He doesn't represent the fans. The fans are passionate. They've waited a long time. Last year, when Aaron Rodgers said on the Pat McAfee show, I want to play for the Jets, I'm going to play for the Jets, everyone had that kind of pride. Like, all right, yo, dude, we got one of the top 5 all-time quarterbacks wants to play for the New York Jets. And now we finally get a chance to get out there, and you don't want to play him? You don't want to play him. You want to shoot. Again, you want to throw out Tyrod Taylor, and you're saying that, oh, he gets injured anyway.
Yeah.
Wow, what disrespect.
A ridiculous shot. And that was a ridiculous shot, too.
And not only that, if you want to be a good team, you got to start beating good teams. It's as simple as that. I like this matchup. Now, like, am I 100% like I could say like that they're gonna win or lose? Like, it doesn't really matter. I mean, like, you go out there, like, they're gonna be competitive. It's healthy versus healthy. I don't even want them because historically they start slow. No, give them to me strong because we're strong too. Where's your balls? Seriously, it's freaking pathetic, man.
What sucks is that became the image spread throughout, like, the Twitterverse, social media, as what Jets fans are feeling, right? Like, and I think Dan said it beautifully. He doesn't represent us. No. He does not represent us. I think Greeny, I think he's more of a social media or it's a character that he plays as a Jets fan. I think he's more of a character that he plays, because when I saw that, I was embarrassed for even thinking, like, man, I was embarrassed to think that I wanted a softball. When he responded like that to it, I was just like, I ain't scared. I didn't say I was scared of playing them. I would have preferred a softball to get our team going to face them off. But like you just said, we have to beat good teams if we're trying to make a Super Bowl. I don't think we brought Aaron Rodgers here to go ahead and be average or to be okay.
No.
Or to make it to the playoffs and not go past that. Like, we brought him here to win a Super Bowl. And guess what? You're gonna have to beat good teams to get there. So if the football guys wanted to go ahead and put the 49ers in front of us as the first test of who we are, so be it. I think when you really sit back and look at it, and I think you said it best, it's actually a good thing. You're talking about the teams are healthy. It's going to be right in the beginning of the freaking season, and it's the toughest opponent that I believe we'll be facing all year. It's by far the toughest defense just to be facing all year. We get them in week 1, get a real test of what our team's capable of. So, yeah, and Armand says it beautifully. Iron sharpens iron, and that's exactly what this is going to be on Monday Night Football.
And not only that, I think that we match up really well against them. And Robert Saleh knows Kyle Shanahan's system. I'm not really afraid. I mean, like, it's going to be hard for me to sit here and say, like, guaranteed win. Like, it's not necessarily that I wanted a softball. I wanted New England just because it's time to start, handing out some payback. They have a rookie quarterback, a rookie head coach. Yeah, I wanted to punch him in his mouth. Simple as that. Like, I want to start, like, beating up these guys like they've done to us for the last 20 years. I get it. It's not Brady and Belichick, but still that same organization. That's the reason I wanted it. It wasn't, like you had said, it wasn't like a cupcake game or a softball game to get Rodgers' feet wet. No, I mean that's what preseason for. Throw him in there in preseason for a couple reps if that's what he wants to do.
And again, piggybacking off of that, if Greeny wants to go with the history of the New York Jets, why don't you select the '98 opener when we had Glenn Foley as our starter and we went to Candlestick and we played blow by blow one of the best NFL teams out there, Steve Young, Jerry Rice, you name it, Garrison Hurst. Yes, we lost that game, but there was a barometer. There was a different mindset starting off that season. We started off 0-2. We get it. But guess what happened? We went to the AFC Championship game that year. There was something magical. There was, again, for different results, you have to have a different mindset. That's what Parcells brought there. That's what Aaron Rodgers brings to the table. That's what Tyron Smith brings to the table. These leaders, these veterans, in spite of Robert Saleh, which, again, the jury's still out, and I'm going to go on a limb here. I think he's an excellent leader of men, and this season, he has to swing for the fences. He has to, because there's going to be certain vulnerable times where he's going to be exposed. What have you learned the past 3 years, Robert Saleh? What have you learned? Because Joe Douglas, he knows the memo. He doesn't produce this year. You don't make playoffs or you get bounced in the wild card, it's over, folks. Forget about 2025. All in year, sliver of opening of this window is this year right here. It's all in. Yep. The minimum is reaching the AFC Championship game. That's the minimum. It starts week 1 against the Niners.
He doesn't even have to really worry about the offense because that's what you have Aaron Rodgers for. Mm-hmm. Just in my opinion. Gunny, what do you think?
I mean, in all actuality, if we're talking about history, like Greeny brought up, the Jets are on a 3-game winning streak right now on season openers also. Like, they're currently in a 3-game winning streak in season openers. Somehow, some way over the last few years, the Jets have found a way to go ahead and win games in the beginning of the season. You're seeing them do it last year against the Buffalo Bills team where, hey, listen, I think all of us thought it was over. Aaron Rodgers goes down and we're like, well, there goes this game, and it starts here. We still won that game. Aaron Rodgers technically is undefeated as a New York Jet in season opener. So Greeny right now, I think, again, I go back to the fact that I think that was more of him trying to role play to go ahead and it's I think he went the wrong route, right? I would have preferred the approach of being over arrogant or cocky or just confident in what this team has become. We have Aaron Rodgers in that matchup. Are you telling me Brock Purdy is a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers? Because the defenses are going to put in work.
That's right.
Another thing, there's no tape of what this offense looks like with Aaron Rodgers behind center. There's no tape. The 49ers are going in blind. We've seen Brock Purdy in action. We know what it looks like. Saleh has tape on that, knows how to attack that. So for me, I feel like the pure fact that we're being counted out already for that season opener. Now, I love it. I love it. I think we're 6-point underdogs for that game.
Yeah.
I love it. I think this is where we want to be as Jets fans, because whenever people start believing in us for some reason, whenever like we're the dogs to beat, we cower for some reason and we don't rise up. But as underdogs, the Jets tend to go ahead and surprise us underdogs, man. And Aaron Rodgers right now, I believe, is on a mission. I think this man is sitting back, because y'all notice he hasn't talked about, he's hearing all this stuff about being old. Is he going to be able to come out, 40 years old? Does he still have it? You got freaking Colin Cowherd calling him a prickly old man. Like, Aaron Rodgers hasn't said nothing. I love it. But you know what? You're seeing a lot of the stuff coming out of One Jets Drive of him correcting freaking Nathaniel Hackett whenever Nathaniel Hackett is trying to call plays. You see him working with Garrett Wilson in regards to like how he wants him to run routes. You hear him talking about bringing in Malachi Corley into his guest house so he can go ahead and help the kid grow and build some rapport with him a lot faster. I think that man is on a mission. And I'm telling you, I personally can't wait to see him come back and go on a run. And I think Aaron Rodgers is looking to make a statement coming into the season. And there's no funner quarterback to watch than a chip on your shoulder Aaron Rodgers.
The revenge tour is going to be amazing.
The revenge,
I'm telling you, and it starts with San Francisco. He was waiting for San Francisco to place in the card and become the first overall draft pick. They slighted him and selected Alex Smith. And again, I'm not saying that the Jets are going to win against the Niners. There's a lot of things that have to fall into place, whatnot. But I think the Jets overall, the mindset, they will be ready. Why? History says so with Saleh. They always play up to the standards of elite teams. The Vikings 2 years ago with Mike White. Buffalo all the time, even though we have no quarterback. The Kansas City Chiefs, who because of the refs, we lost the game neck and neck Sunday night. And we were the first team last year, say what you want, who landed and gave the Philadelphia Eagles their first loss of the season. So we do play up to the matchups of the high echelon teams. So I can't wait for week 1, guys. I can't wait.
You know what's ironic about this too is the San Francisco 49ers have Leonard Floyd, who injured Aaron Rodgers, and we have Hassan Reddick, who injured Brock Purdy. So it's just, a little nugget in there.
Love that. Dude,
so I guess we could go one by one, give our thoughts on the schedule, give our little predictions. I shared it with Armand already in our DMs. I have us going 13-4. I just want to say right now.
Yes, sir. As we should.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start off with week 1. I'll throw the ball to Gunny first. Gunny, are you thinking win or loss? Week 1.
Yeah, so I've been going back and forth with this one. I ain't gonna lie to you. The fandom in me keeps talking about like, heck yeah, we're gonna go in there and smack these dudes in the mouth. It's the Jets, we've improved, et cetera, et cetera. But you got to give credit to where credit is due, and this is the runner-ups to becoming NFL champions, the NFC champions. Their roster is every bit as talented as our roster. I think it's going to be a defensive game. On the other side of the ball is going to be the offensive question. And unfortunately for us, continuity is the real thing here. I think the fact that the 49ers have continuity, they've been playing, you know what I'm saying? They've been doing this for the last couple of years now with Brock Purdy, those wide receivers, Christian McCaffrey. I think they're going to edge us out by a score. It won't be massive. I'm thinking a 17-10, 17-13 game. Unfortunately, I do got the 49ers getting us in the season opener.
Dan?
With the Niners, win. I see them. You have a pissed off young core, the New York Jets, and I'm talking about Sauce, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, these young kids, JJ, all these young guys, blood and sweat for the past 2 seasons, especially Garrett Wilson, who has had no productivity at the quarterback position, none whatsoever, still banged out 1,000 yards. You could see his frustration. He wanted that leadership at the quarterback position. He finally has it. Granted, again, I'm not even going to say it with Aaron. We all know he needs to be healthy. All right. And that's why Joe Douglas did what he did this offseason. He hit it out of the park. What he did, placing in 3/5 of this offensive line and then drafting, to me, again, 1 was Joe Alt. 1A, not 2. 1A was Olu Fashanu. That guy. Hopefully he doesn't play. Hopefully Tyron plays. But if he does, he's solidified there. But this defense, and I know this green colored glasses and whatnot, I couldn't care less. Getting Hassan Reddick is an upgrade over Huff, because this is a guy year in, year out, produces 9 to 12 to 13 sacks a season. And like you said, Liam, that's the guy that injured Purdy. There are psychological things that happen there to a young quarterback. Could it happen to Aaron Rodgers? Maturity plays a lot in this NFL game and life as well. I think he looks at Floyd, and looks at him and says, all right, you know what? Good play last year, whatever the case is. You want to take credit for that? Go for it. But with Reddick on Brock Purdy, it's a different animal. I look at the Jets winning probably 35-21. I don't see this defense giving up more than 21 points in the first game of the season. If that.
I freaking hope so, brother. I really do. I kind of tend to lean with Gunny, and I hate to say it, but I don't think that we're getting the dub week 1. It's
Okay.
just it's hard to discount the 31, draft pick 31, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, the second best team in the NFL right now. I mean, like, they lost in the Super Bowl in overtime. They had Pat Mahomes up against the ropes. I like their defense a lot too, and I mean, with Bosa and all them, like, we have studs on our defensive line as well. However, I have been very vocal. I think that with the losses of Woods, Jefferson, JFM, I think that our defense took a step back. Our defensive line. Now, I like Solomon Thomas. I like Kinlaw. That's going to be like a little San Francisco reunion right there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. I mean, like, yes, it is defense, but like they know that Shanahan system, so that might give them a little bit of a bump up a little bit. But I'm just gonna have to wait and see with this one. Like, obviously, I'm hoping for a Jets win. I hope, Dan, that what you're saying holds true. But it's hard for me to sit here and say that the New York Jets, who have missed the playoffs for the last decade plus, I get it. It was bad quarterback play, not the same deal. But it's hard to say that we're going to bring it to the San Francisco 49ers. I think it's going to be a close game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking like a 24-21, something like that. And I do think it's going to be a defensive game, and I'm really hoping that Breece Hall runs the ball down their throat, but Christian McCaffrey is going to be running the ball down our throat too. So I think we match up really well with them overall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I really think that, like, our rosters are very similar.
Yep,
but I might just have to give the leg up to their defense for now, until our defensive line shows that with the different players, they haven't taken a step back and they haven't missed a step. So moving on to week 2 away, which I'm not too happy about 2 weeks in a row, road games.
I would love
However,
to
I mean,
come on, let's do it. Come on, all 3 of us. Let's go to Tennessee. Let's go to Nashville. Have a blast.
I would love to. September, dude. That weather's gonna be beautiful.
It's one of the games I'm thinking about adding to my. I've never been to their stadium, so it's on my bucket list. I'm already going to the Steelers game. I think this is going to be the other game that I go to.
Look, if crypto continues to rise tonight and I hit a mill, I got your tickets.
My man. Okay, Dan.
I ain't gonna be greedy. Shiba Inu.
There's like a little thing with that too. Is like some of my 2 of my best friends, they got married and they moved down to Tennessee, and my friend's wife happens to be a really big Jet fan, and my girlfriend's sister and her boyfriend are going to be visiting them that week. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just tag along.
Lined up.
Yeah, you gotta do
I
it.
have it lined up. I
Man.
I love Nashville too.
Nashville.
Yeah, dude. I tear Nashville up. Let me just tell you, I've been. It's a great time. But you know, when I got a couple shots in me and I do that little bull riding, I do. I'm a little freaking horse to be reckoned with. I'm telling
Johnny
you.
Utah.
Yes,
that's what I'm talking about. I bet that. What? How many people will go there? Like 4 or 5 people that you would go there. Yeah. What's it going to cost you? What? $150? Probably.
Yeah, I went last time with 7 or 8 people, and yeah, I mean, like, we got like an Airbnb and everything. It wasn't too bad. I think it was. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, like, we did it. We did it. You know, so
that might.
I might have to do it. I'm thinking about it. You know, if I could get the girl to take off of work and come with me. I mean, even if she doesn't want to, I might just go. You know,
I'll be your girl.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you and I will go.
Take me out. Just buy me a drink first.
Dan's like, just call me Danielle.
Yeah, be a gentleman, please. So what do you got? What do you got? Are we winning or we're losing? What do you got?
Hell yeah, we're winning. Week 2, win. Beautiful. Week 2, win.
Yeah,
I think that we were just a much better team than the Titans.
Without question.
Gunny, what are you thinking?
Easy win. I'm with Liam on this one. This one is going to be the start of a nice little win streak here for the New York Jets. Mm-hmm. I think the Tennessee Titans, again, they've got more questions than they have answers. I think this is a team that's really more of a rebuild right now. They lost Derrick Henry. They let go of freaking Tannehill as well. Who's their quarterback? Is it Will Levis?
Yep.
It's Will Levis, right? Yeah.
That's right.
So Will Levis, again, last year, I think was injured and whatnot. So there's a lot that he's still a rookie. I think this defense is going to give that kid a nightmare. We pull out a W here. The team, it's not even close, man. The talent levels on the rosters alone should suffice for the win here.
I think the same thing. Win, again, with Will Levis, it's a new regime. They didn't draft him at all. Yep. So he has to kind of show the entire organization that he is the guy. And now coupled coming from San Francisco off of that win, now we're pinning our ears right back. This is where Saleh has to show up as a head coach, because we play great against excellent teams, but then we lower down the competition, and play all right, like Washington, like last year. Mind-boggling. We're ahead, 17-0 or 21-0, whatever the case is.
Come back.
Whoa. Like, I hate to say this, but it's true. You got to get a page from Bill Belichick. Remember that snow game that the Pats had against the Tennessee Titans, and they played at Foxborough. They kept just slamming them with touchdowns, one after another. Keep doing that. Oh, but sportsmanship. Look at the freaking roast. Did you guys see the roast? They couldn't care less. They're talking about Brady admitted to the deflated football. He don't care. He don't care. Win the game. Put your foot right on their necks. You smell blood in the water. Be a shark right there. Chop them up. Go open the season. I know in my scenario, 2-0. Win for me.
I really like the matchup between Sauce and Hopkins too. I think that's going to be a good one.
That's going to be fun. But in all actuality, I think Sauce is going to shut him down. Hopkins is on the back end of his career.
Yep.
I think Sauce is going to have some fun. Again, the name value, yes, right? But I think in terms of where they're at right now in their careers, Sauce Gardner should be able to do what he wants to with DeAndre Hopkins.
Enormity. I mean, what is it? Year 3. Sauce, I'm expecting a big year. I'm expecting 6-7 interceptions, man.
Imagine that. The next level, right? We're talking about back-to-back all-pros. The only thing you're not is getting the ball, turning the ball over. We need to see that. Oh, man, Sauce Gardner taking that next step to where now he becomes a ball hawk as well. Oh, my God.
That's the defense.
The NFL ain't ready. NFL ain't ready.
Armin's got numbers for us.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
all right. Not bad. All right, let's do it.
Wait, the price is $523 each with fees. Okay.
Press the proceed button on that one. And do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So week 3, our home opener, Thursday Night Football against the New England Patriots. I have a feeling that I'm going to be at this game. As fun as Tennessee sounds, and I am kind of trying to convince myself to actually do it. I might. There's a part of me that really might go ahead and do that. I could see myself being at this game because for the last this will be my 3rd home opener in a row. Thursday Night Football, New England Patriots. I think that Gunny had a little quote in there that I liked, win streak. I think this is going to continue to add to that win streak as well. I don't think anybody has us losing to the New England Patriots. And I want to put up a 50 burger. I want this to be 52-13 like they did us. Right. I want to wreck this young Drake May, Gerard Mayo. Yes. I want them to come to our house and I want to wipe the floor with them. Gunny, you think you coming up for this one?
Nah, man. The Thursday one is rough for me to go ahead and pull off. That's why I hate the fact that it was a Thursday night game. Had it been Sunday, we're talking like, hey, where we're gonna meet up at. So they got me with the Thursday night, man.
All right, but I'm sure you're predicting W as well, right? Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Without question. I think this is we ended freaking Bill Belichick's career with an L. We're going to start Mayo's career with an L against the Jets too. And it's going to be an ongoing thing. He needs to get real comfortable because we're going to go ahead and pretty much kick him down to the bottom of the freaking division. I hate the Patriots, man. I hate them with such great disdain. I would love it if the New York Jets not only scored 50, bro, just keep going. Do what the Dolphins did to the Broncos last year. Just be unmerciful. And you know what? No, don't do what they did because the Broncos actually pulled their foot off the gas. I want the gas to be pushed to the floor. Yep. If you want to drop 100 points on these guys, drop 100 points. I don't care. But this is going to be an easy one, man. I mean, again, it's Mayo that's there, so it's a new coaching regime. But in terms of talent, it's again boils down to that. Our roster is way more talented. They're in the beginning of a rebuild right now. They're starting from scratch. We should go ahead and get this dub and make it a very convincing win at that.
Yes.
We were talking before we went on live, right? How the NFL just most likely they hate the Jets. To me, this was beyond San Francisco week 1. This was the biggest slap in the face because as a home opener, it should always be on a Sunday or a Monday night. You do it on a Thursday night.
Bums.
Shame on you, Roger Goodell. Shame on you. You know people have jobs and all that. We wait all year, especially for a home opener. You give us that? It's disgusting, honestly. And I'm not a big fan of Thursday night football. I'm sure that the stadium is going to be rocking like crazy. Again, my scenario at that point, they're going to be 2-0. But they deserve better. But you know what? That's fine. No worries. You know what? What I'm looking forward to this game is that the Jets are going to be, turning the page on the New England Patriots. But remember what I'm about to say. Gerard Mayo, he knows the Jets being the Jets. And he's going to be one dirty head coach when he plays against the green and white. I'm telling you, expect a lot of things that are uncalled for. It's going to be a lot of flags thrown the Patriots' way because it's going to be completely out of control. I'm looking at probably 35-3 heading into the half.
Ooh, I love it. Oh, man. From your lips to God's ears, please.
Yeah, very close to him.
The Patriots way, cheating, penalties. Yeah.
Yes.
Dirtbags.
Dirtbags,
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
That's a win for me.
But yeah, this whole 3 games in 10 days thing, that's a little crazy. I mean, I love my Jets, but I want them to have a little bit of a break too. But
right? And
yeah, it is. But
It
then
keeps going.
I know, yeah. It's just how could we F these guys even more? It's like 3 games, 10 days. We got it.
And we're going to get to it in 2 games. We're going to get into what I kind of preface, but the next game is against the Broncos. Now, that game there, what do you guys think? Liam, what you got?
I think it's time that we pay back Zach Wilson for all the hell that he's put us through.
Yes.
I don't think he's going to be playing that game. I think it's going to be Bo Nix. I think they give him at least a month to learn. I mean, unless he's just looking absolutely terrible in training camp and there's a reason that they absolutely can't play him. But either way, I mean, I know that both Sean Payton and Robert Saleh just kind of squashed that beef. It's not squashed. It's not squashed.
Mm-mm.
And let me just tell you, we have owned the Denver Broncos for the last couple of years, and it's just been one terrible injury after another going up there. So heading back home, I'm expecting a big Elijah Vera Tucker revenge game here.
Yep.
I hate to throw that term around, but I think that's absolutely what it is. Breece Hall, I want him to have another break open run somewhere where he just unloads maybe 200 yards or something like that on them. I'm expecting a big win here. I think that this might actually be the worst quarterback room possibly in NFL history. This room is atrocious. It really is.
Stidham, Zach Wilson, Bo Nix.
Mm-hmm.
Let's ride.
The Bills wide receiver room.
The worst.
Yeah, so I don't think that there's any way that we could lose to these guys. I mean, so right now I have us at 3-1.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm with him on that one. We're at 3-1, man, because there's no freaking way Denver's going to come into our house and go ahead and beat us. We've owned them the last couple of years with Zach Wilson at the helm. Aaron Rodgers is about to feast. And again, being at home, I think we can safely say we can have Elijah Vera Tucker complete an entire game, knock on wood, because for some reason when we were out there, in Mile High, it hasn't been the best of luck. But yeah, the Jets are going to, again, another team that you have a disgruntled wide receiver core in Cortland Sutton. He's still trying to find his way out of there. Who do they have on offense? I don't even know who they have on offense. Nobody.
They don't have an offense.
To me, I want this to be an embarrassing beatdown for Sean Payton. I know people think it's over. No, it's not. That dude ran his mouth. And I mean, I'm talking about belittled. And you think Aaron Rodgers doesn't want his chance to go ahead and protect his boy? He didn't get a chance to do it last year. So I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to have fun with this game and eat him up. I mean, again, on the defensive side of the football, they got Patrick Surtain, who I think is arguably the second best cornerback in all of football after Sauce Gardner. But he can't guard everybody. he can't guard all of our wide receivers, all of our tight ends, and our running back. So at the end of the day, this should be a fun game for us, man. Jets fans should enjoy this one. And I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers is going to have a blast. So, yeah, we're at 3-1.
That's our home opener. That's our home opener.
That
It's going to be on a
really,
Sunday.
really is, though.
That's
really
the
is.
one. That's the one where everyone's going to show up. Everybody.
Yeah, I might have to make that trip.
Again,
That
my
was gonna be
scenario,
fun.
we're 3-0. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to see all three quarterbacks. The Jets are going to come out hungry this season. Very hungry. That revenge tour with Aaron Rodgers, what he's going to mean to this NFL team right here, every single week, it's a revenge tour. Every single game, they're going to come out there and remember, okay, Sean Payton, I remember what you said about my offensive coordinator, who they actually wanted to add another offensive assistant to say what final say and whatnot, what this past week with the Connor Hughes report, which is, again, very Jets-esque.
Yeah.
Does it happen with other teams? Maybe, and doesn't even it goes maybe unnoticed, possibly. But when it's all said and done, this is our real home opener. We win the game convincingly. And I'm again, teams are going to take notice. Yes, they're going to be like, oh, shoot, you know what? They're putting up what, like you said, 50 burgers, 40 up. And that's why to me, that Niners game, I see them winning, because just to kind of shut them up, to say, oh, they're only beating these weak teams like the Titans, the Patriots, and now the Broncos. They haven't faced a real team yet. That's why that first one, it's going to be a big barometer, whether they lose by 1 point or 3. But I look at them as they're winning. Right now, we start the season, in my scenario, 4-0.
Yeah. All right. Cool. No, I'm here for it, man. I hope so.
Listen, Danny, if we start the season 4-0, I know this is a family program, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But 4-0 in 2024 with Aaron Rodgers on fire, man. I can't even begin to fathom. But man, again, like I said, from your lips to God's ears, I hope that man's listening.
Well, this is the
I
next
hope so
one.
too, brother.
This is the next one, man. This one here against the Vikings. I really want to elaborate on this one. We're playing in England, right? And God bless, man. Yep. You know what? At first, probably maybe 6-7 years ago, I didn't like this, but I see where football is going. If people don't understand this, I don't know what to tell you. When Roger Goodell took over for Paul Tagliabue, he revitalized the NFL. Look at the draft. The draft was Saturdays and Sundays. That's it. It's a spectacle now.
Yeah.
This year, with week 1, 2 teams, I forgot who they are. They're playing in Brazil. That's enormous. This is going to be a worldwide kind of event with the NFL.
NFL.
Roger Goodell wants to level this up to World Cup level, where it's around the world. He sees that there's a market there. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you know what? The World Cup is every year for the NFL. We have the Super Bowl. He sees that there's a market and money to be had. I'm telling you, we had Craig Carton on the show about 2 weeks ago. He was also talking about possibly, Abu Dhabi maybe coming in here, talking with Woody, bringing the Jets here home. If those guys ever step in to the NFL, it becomes worldwide right away. This is part of it. This right here in England, Jets against the Vikings. You guys are going to hate me for this one. That's our first loss of the season.
To
JJ
McCarthy or Sam Darnold?
Yep. It's mind-boggling. But this is the Jets thing, right? Like I like what you just did, Gunny. I love it because that's what we have been used to for the past 20 years. We beat these great teams, and all of a sudden we're like, there's no way.
Fair.
How is this even possible?
But the
Vikings,
oh man,
I'd rather have a loss there.
Johnny, that noise that you made was like the Jets soundboard for over the last 20 years. You're right.
50 years.
What? Yeah, no.
Insane. Insanity. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I look at the Vikings, right? And I don't they lost Danielle Hunter. He's gone. He's a Texan now. Best defensive player gone. They lost their quarterback, right? Kirk Cousins gone. So they don't have a quarterback that I think is scary enough to utilize JJ the way he's been used to being used. They're Dalvin Cook, who's the running back, right? Who's the tight
Madison.
end?
Isn't it Addison?
Okay, so Madison's still there. Is he still there? I thought he left in the offseason.
I thought he went elsewhere.
I thought he went elsewhere too.
Oh, maybe.
I mean,
I don't know.
They've got some good wide receivers, but
Justin Jefferson,
again, like you just said, it would be the Jets thing. The only way this would make sense to me if it's the Jets thing, because I have us winning in London. But man, you got me really thinking though. Like, yeah, at this point, this would be the Jets thing to do, is to go.
Sorry. The Vikings have Aaron Jones as running back.
Oh,
that's right. He did go over there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nice
so
one.
they got a running back, nice running back. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I still think we win. I still think it's a win for us. I have a hard time. I'm looking at it more along the lines of, we have Aaron Rodgers now, right? And I feel like the defense has never been a reason that this team has lost games, right? I digress. There was the instance of CJ Mosley giving them the first down for the Bills. But it's a rare occurrence.
Right.
And I'm with you in regards to how this defense is going to feast off of Aaron Rodgers leading the offense. Because again, this defense being built to go ahead and attack quarterbacks needs a lead to be able to go at full throttle. They haven't really had the opportunity to do that in the 3 years we've been building this defense. So I don't see Sam Darnold beating the Jets, man. I don't see. I don't see Sam Darnold. Aaron Jones, he's good, but I think Breece Hall is way better. Our defense is waiting.
Aaron Rodgers has his number too.
Yeah,
that's another one. Yeah.
So
I'm right.
I'm going to go with the Jets win this one. I can't do it. No, the Jets win this one. I'm going to go off of the Superman of Aaron Rodgers not allowing us to go ahead and play below our talent level.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Gunny, too. And how funny is it that in a 2-week span, the Jets could be playing both Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold? It's just
that is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious.
Just keep in mind, though. I mean, Sam Darnold is 1-0 against the Jets. Just saying.
Yeah, this is true.
You know, but no, I'm with you too. I don't think that I don't think that we're gonna be losing. And not only that, like England is like Woody's stomping grounds. Like he's like the man over there. So it's like, you know, we gotta stand up for our boy, even though he doesn't stand up for us. But you know,
it's like a home game. It's like a home game.
Right.
That's very true.
So then we come back to the States, Monday Night Football at home against the Buffalo Bills. This is probably like, I keep saying like I'm gonna go to this game, like this is like the game that like I am definitely going to, just because my girlfriend's a Bills fan, and it's like we always try. And I'm not going to Buffalo in late December. This is not happening. So, yeah, no. But I think that we could beat them at home. It's hard. I mean, it's going to be a hard fought game. I don't think that it's going to be like a blowout by any stretch, but I do think that, especially at home, we've had Josh Allen's number the last couple of years. Now, we're getting into the part of the season where Josh Allen started to get like, hot again. It takes him a couple weeks to warm up here and there, but I think that he's going to be in a mid-season form, which could be a good thing, but it could also mean a ton of interceptions. So, not only that, I think the Buffalo Bills have degressed tremendously, especially with the offense. So I'm going to say it's a win. I think it's going to be like one of those close, like 27-21 kind of games, something like that.
What you got, Gunny?
Yeah, so the Buffalo Bills, I got us beating them too. I can't help it. I look at the Buffalo Bills and they took massive steps backwards. Josh Allen does not play the Jets well. He gets around New York Jets defense and he becomes a shell of who he is. He's got a 1-for-1 TD to interception ratio. His completion percentages drops by almost 6 whole percentage points. He averages about 240 yards. Like he's not good. He's mid. When he plays the Jets, we make him look mid, average.
Yep.
So I have no fear of going or playing them at home or in our house. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to pick apart what's left over of their defense. They lost a lot of key pieces in the offseason. I don't think they replenished those guys well enough. Their wide receiver room is in shambles, and you're starting to see the effects of a team that had to pay the quarterback the big money, and now they can't put pieces around him, and I love it. I think their window is closed. I think the opportunity that they had was over the last several years to really take over. Like they were winning the division. This is your chance to go ahead and make it known, and they couldn't get it done. And you're going to go ahead and ask Josh Allen to now get you there with less support. I don't see it. I mean, again, Josh Allen is great. He is, but not against the Jets. So the Jets get this one. They get the dub. And this is going to be the win that I think puts them ahead in the AFC East, because we'll have a tied record with the Miami Dolphins up to this point. But the second win in the AFC East is going to be what gives us the lead for the division.
I couldn't agree more. And I'm going to just throw a name out there. Dion Dawkins. You want to talk about bullets and bull material? You want to spout your mouth, shirtless, double D cups
out. Yeah.
And I mean, I can't. There's no way that the Jets defense look at the Bills any other way. Before, it was all respectable. You know what? They're AFC East champions. They're an up and coming team. But when you get disrespected like that, but badly, and then it didn't stop there. Again, it continued yesterday or 2 days ago, him spewing his mouth, and the Jets are being quiet. They're going to annihilate the Buffalo Bills. I don't see something close, because these games that the Jets have won, close games, it was due to the fact that we had the ineptitude at the quarterback position.
Yep.
That touchdown that Zach Wilson threw to Garrett Wilson. That's all Garrett Wilson. That was Garrett Wilson. Horrible.
I've been on record saying that was not a touchdown pass. It was a touchdown catch, because Garrett Wilson had to save it, did magic to turn it into one. Horrible freaking throw. You do it to the inside when you got your guy to the outside towards the corner. Just pathetic throw. That won't be a problem with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. 6th game of the season. All cylinders are firing at this point. We blow them out. 45-3. Next.
I like that. Absolutely. I want Michael Clemens to unleash on these guys as well.
Yes.
Because Dawkins is deathly afraid of Michael Clemens.
Better believe it. 100%. Yeah. He's an inmate.
Yeah. He even said that. He's like, we're not thugs. If you don't want to go, if you don't want to be about the NFL, just take your pads off and turn them in. It's like, all right. Well, we got dogs.
I think Michael Clemens is about that life. Listen, Dion,
you
might not be, but I think Clemens is about that life. You might want to go ahead and step back.
You better believe it. I love Michael Clemens, man. I love it.
I tweeted that out, and then somebody just commented the picture of Clemens just walking in with shirtless with a baseball bat. It's like, oh, okay,
Yes.
Maybe we could kind of get wrestling style, just wrap some barbed wire around it, this time around.
I'm
Something
in.
crazy. Light it on fire.
But the next one's going to be a fun one. That next one, man, is that what, Sunday night?
Sunday night.
And I'm going to be there.
You going to Pittsburgh?
I'm going to Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
My brother-in-law got the tickets yesterday and let me know last night. And then we find out today, originally it said a 1:00 game. And then today the schedule comes out and it says it's a Sunday night football game. And he got the notification saying the time had adjusted to Sunday night football. So that's going to be a good one. I can't wait to get there.
Oh my God. That one is going to be insane game. And again, we don't play well at Pittsburgh, right? That's our MO, right?
Well, no, we beat them the last 2 times we were in Pittsburgh.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
we beat them
those 2 times, but it was a very long.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
Kind of like the Eagles
was rough.
Thing.
It was rough. It was very rough.
To be fair, Zach Wilson had a great drive that last drive to close that game out, though. I mean, obviously we couldn't punch it in for the touchdown as usual, but we had Greg the Leg come through for us.
That's right. That's where you did that dance.
Yeah, the gritty.
The gritty.
Yeah, it was an ugly gritty, but yes,
it was.
He attempted it.
I remember
3 years
after that game, I had Gino do some gritties for me on the program. If you guys go back a couple of years, you could see it in there.
That's
Gino
awesome. Who's their starter? What was it?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. They want to put him at wide receiver.
Dan, if we win this game, will you gritty for us?
I don't even know what that is. I guess
we'll send you some YouTube tutorials.
Yeah. I'll have Zach Wilson show you.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Before we move on real quick, Armand did say something. Is it no, not Armand? Nate did say something that I think I wanted to ask you guys. Did you guys see the DJ retweet today?
No.
Or tonight. All right. So before we jumped on, I have it pulled up. So Diggs, the safety from Seattle, right? That we've all been screaming we should possibly make a move for.
Yes.
Tweeted out, "Oh yeah, we go into the playoffs for sure with this schedule." And DJ Reed retweeted it saying, "We are, bro. God willing."
Whoa,
so
that'd be awesome.
They pointed it out, and I was like, "Yeah, I did see that. We haven't talked about that."
Oof.
And they might have just spilled the beans about a potential signing.
I hope so. Oh, that'll be awesome. Like all I've been hearing all offseason is that, this defense, they don't place much value in the safety position. Safety. I don't buy that. If it's an all-in year, by all means, go through it. Get the best safety out there. I like Justin Simmons. I get it. But, man, go get Quandre Diggs by all means.
Yeah. I mean,
Armin said he's going to dance for us.
Would fit the system better. Yeah, okay. We got a volunteer. He's going to gritty.
All right, I could put a poll up.
Wow.
Men, why not?
I don't think the gritty requires a poll, but I'm not saying I don't want to see it.
I guess. Let's do it. I'm in. All right, so they in that game. Are we all agreeing with that one?
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
Biggest game of the season. New England. Are we going for the sweep or what?
Yes, we are. Get the brooms out.
You know it. Get out the brooms, y'all. It's a full sweep.
Payback's a bitch. I mean, it only took such a long time. And this one, it's gonna count. It's gonna count, man. Not like the last game of the season last year. This is gonna count. Sweet baby. Let's do it.
Now, the following week is where I have my second loss of the season. And I really went back and forth with this one because I really think the Jets could beat the Texans. I mean, we did last year with Zach Wilson. Granted, Stroud got hurt, but just to give it like a little bit of fairness, I think I'm going to give the upper hand to the Texans here. But I could really see this one going either way. So I'll give it to Gunny first. What are you thinking with this one?
Yeah, I won't lie to you. This is one of the other ones that I looked at, and I thought to myself, this is going to be a great matchup. CJ Stroud last year was special. I'm talking about this is a kid you watch play, and you just knew you're like, damn, he's got it. He's a franchise guy. Yep. You don't need to go ahead and wait another year to watch. No, this dude's got it. He's a franchise guy. And I think they improved dramatically, man, with what they did on the defensive side of the ball. They brought in Neil Hunter on the defensive side of the ball. They brought in Stephon Diggs on the offensive side of the ball. They improved the running back position. They brought Bengals old running back. I'm having a brain fart right now. Bengals running back that just went over there. Wow.
I can't remember.
Seriously? I'm having one of those moments. But they added to the running back room as well with a Pro Bowl running back. I forget his name.
Joe Mixon.
Thank you so much. Joe Mixon is over there now. And then you talk about that wide receiver room. I think it's in the conversation potentially the best wide receiver room in football. This is going to be a tough one for the guys. But at the end of the day, I've got us taking our L here. It's going to be a hard-fought game. I actually believe this is going to be the start of like a bit of a little rivalry. You're talking about two defensive-minded head coaches from that 49ers freaking defense, the Kyle Shanahan tree, taking over teams. We're supposed to be the saviors of the freaking the teams. I think we're going to see a bit of a rivalry ongoing if, of course, Saleh gets us to the promised land this year and gets an extension. But yeah, we're going to get this L. I think we're going to catch an L from the Texans. It wouldn't shock me in the least bit if we win this game. Right. But in regards to how I think it's going to turn out, we're going to catch an L here. I think that CJ Stroud is going to go ahead and play just a little bit better than Aaron Rodgers, and they'll get this W. That'll bring us to, I think that's what, 6-2. 6-2.
Yeah, I
believe 7-2, right?
7-2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-2. Yeah,
7-2.
Yep.
Okay.
Same here. I don't see us winning this game. CJ Stroud that dude is a baller. It's one of you don't get these quarterbacks. So many people are like, all right, you draft him first round, just throw him out there. Yes, last year you saw the dichotomy of having the kid that played at Carolina, first overall pick, and then you had CJ Stroud. Some kids you could just gotta sit them on the bench, Let them learn. Let them progress. Some come from college. They hit the floor running. Got your Peyton Manning, your Russell Wilsons. Very seldom do you ever hit on something like this. That's CJ Stroud in a nutshell. I see him balling out this season. And I'm talking about 31, 32 touchdowns. That's what I'm looking at.
Yep.
And against the Jets, wow, man, that is going to be very hard fought. And I think the Jets lose probably, it's probably going to be maybe 28-27. Really close. But I think CJ Stroud just does his thing, his magic.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that as well. And then this is the game that we all wanted for week 2, but it's coming in week 10. We are on the road, heading back out west. The Arizona Cardinals, I have us winning this game too. I just, I think that 2-foot Kyler Murray stands no chance against big bad Aaron Rodgers.
What do you got? What do you got?
I mean, come on, man. It's the Cardinals. I'm pretty sure at this point, Kyler Murray is going to be infatuated with the new Call of Duty that just came out, right? And he's going to fall off the wayside again. I think the story of Kyler Murray is kind of like, it's sad, man. It really is. This is a kid who I think has immense talent. To be at his side, at his size, to win Offensive Player Rookie of the Year, his rookie year, he showed significant upside. I was like, man, this dude is going to go ahead and change again, even more so what that quarterback position can look like, being one of those smaller guys playing the position. And I mean, I know the injury was a concern, but then the fact that he lost interest, you're hearing that the team had to literally put in his contract that he has to go ahead and actually put time into his craft. This is the NFL, man. And I get it. He's a gifted athlete. He's got a gifted arm. And I think he's one of those rare guys. I think he could play in Major League Baseball. He could play in freaking the NFL, right? But it's one of those games where you got to want to get better. And I don't think he wants to get better. I think he's comfortable where he's at. And I think that's going to be the reason why the Jets defense is going to eat him alive. Kyler Murray is not going to stand a chance. Again, who do they have? Who's the weapons that he's going to have at his disposal to go up against his defense?
Marvin Harrison, man. Marvin Harrison.
Oh, that's right. They did get Marvin Harrison.
That's going to be
fun. They got Michael Carter at running back too.
Oh, that's right.
You brought us back to
him. Okay. No, the MHJ versus freaking Sauce. I've been thinking about this. So that I forgot that he went to the Cardinals. That's going to be fun. But ultimately, I don't think it's going to be enough. I think MHJ is not enough. Their offensive line has holes. Their defensive line has holes. Their defense has holes. It's just not going to be enough. They're not a well-rounded team. They probably have, I would say, the second best wide receiver on the field that game. I'm going to give it to Garrett Wilson until MHJ proves otherwise. But it should be a fun one to watch our cornerbacks go up against MHJ, because I think that kid's going to be special. That boy's going to be special to watch. But yeah, I got them losing. They're going to take an L here, and the Jets go to 8-2.
Wow. Okay. Very good. Oh, you have them losing or winning?
The Jets beating the Cardinals. The Cardinals are going to lose.
Gotcha.
8-2. Yeah.
Same here. I don't see the Jets lowering their standards at this point. They're riding high. They're winning. Again, I see Aaron Rodgers at a Tom Brady level with Tampa Bay year 1. I don't see anything being diminished. He has that fire, that defense. Finally, they have a quarterback that can kind of hold a lead and score, give them time to rest. They demolish Arizona completely. We're 8-2.
All right. And then we head back home, second Sunday night football game of the season against the Indianapolis Colts. I'm guessing it's going to be Anthony Richardson, who's coming off of an injury as well. Mm-hmm. I have us winning this game as well. I mean, they really don't have a whole lot of talent either. So, Gunny, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they've got some nice pieces at wide receiver. The running back, he's kind of fallen off since the injury.
Jonathan Taylor.
Thank you, Jonathan Taylor, right? This was the guy that was the number one running back in the game for about 2 years, and then the last couple of years, he's kind of fallen off. So Anthony Richardson, I think, is the wild card, right? I think he's a guy with a huge arm. I think he needs a lot of work mechanically. I think that he's a very raw quarterback that they're going to be depending on his athleticism to go ahead and make things happen. It's not going to be enough. It boils down to, at the end of the day, the matchup when it comes to these rosters, right? I've been saying this for a long time. I think that when it comes to NFL games, yes, coaching matters, right? But if you don't got the players on the field, coaching doesn't matter. You saw Bill Belichick go from being the greatest of all time to being a mute when it comes to winning games once Tom Brady left. So you got to have the playmakers, man. You got to got the players. And at the end of the day, the coaches just don't got those dogs. We got those dogs. So this is going to be another one of those wins for the Jets. The Colts should be – I'm not going to say anything's easy because I don't want to go ahead and, come off too, flamboyant in regards to how easy it's going to be. But this is a dub. Jets get a dub here. We're on to the next one. Yeah. The Jets should have a field day here.
I wish I could agree. The thing is with Anthony Richardson, I see him as a next level quarterback as well, kind of like CJ Stroud. I felt like he was on that trajectory before he got injured. I think they're going to beat the Jets, and the Jets are going to go into that bye with a loss. Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong, but at this point, the Jets would be, in my scenario, 8-3. But now we head into the bye week, right? Now in the bye week, I'm going to bring in a special guest, second special guest of the night, and this is Cali Jets fan. What is up? Welcome to the show,
man. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on? Sorry, technical difficulties, but I'm here now. So I've been listening, and you guys pretty much knocked it out of the park with the first part of the schedule. So good stuff on that. But yeah, happy to be here.
So overall, right now,
Dan? both the Dans are gone. Oh well,
Dan.
Oh, Dan,
buddy.
I'm not. Yeah. Dan, are you there?
I think what he was getting to was at this point, me and Liam had just at 9-2.
Yes.
Dan's guys at 8-3. So where do you sit on those first 11 matchups?
I think you guys pretty much hit it. Like that's probably the best case scenario. There might be like a couple fluke losses, like every team has. Like the Cowboys last year getting blown out by the Cardinals by like 30 points in midseason. Yeah. So stuff happens, but I would say that 8-win mark would be ideal. Like going into the bye, if you could set yourself up where that last stretch, which isn't the easiest, you can go 500 and sneak into the playoffs, and that would be ideal. So, yeah, I would agree with most of everything you guys said back then with the first part. But it's a nice stretch. I know you guys pretty much went over everything, but just looking at like I try to look at the QB head coach duos, and like weeks 2 through 5, we have like Will Levis, Brissett or May. Bo Nix or Zach Wilson, J.J. McCarthy, Sam Darnold in that game. So it's like we should be able to take care of those games, especially with Salah and Albrecht on defense. So everything you guys said pretty much. I have a tough time seeing us beat Pittsburgh. I don't know. I didn't hear you guys during that segment, but that's a tough one with Tomlin and experienced quarterback, good defense. So those type of games, I see us probably, dropping one here and there. But that's okay. I mean, you just get 10 wins and get in. Like that's the goal.
Do you
see
definitely going into the bye? Is this fathomable? 8-3.
I can't see it, but I would love it. I mean, I'm a late bloomer as a fan. Like I became a fan in 2012, so I've never seen anything like that. So I would love it.
He goes, "This is beyond his ability to comprehend."
Yeah, I can't.
Hey, we got it. We got it.
Which it doesn't mean I'm being negative. It's just I've never seen it, so you got to show me some kind of evidence.
Right.
I mean, with Salah and like getting blown out, like 20 of his, half his games have been blown out by like 2 touchdowns or more. So he's got to prove it. Rodgers got to stay healthy, and that goes with every team though. Like some reason everyone gets on the Jets more than like of course if Dak got injured, the Cowboys aren't going to be good. If Mahomes got injured, the Chiefs aren't going to be good. So as long as we stay afloat. If he misses like a couple games, fine. We got Tyrod, so yeah. I mean, ideally, yeah, 8 wins before the bye would be phenomenal because that last stretch isn't that easy. What you guys are about to get into right now, so yeah, you guys pretty much everything you guys said perfect.
So heading into meaningful games in December, we remember that quote. We have the chance to play yet another former Jets quarterback in Geno Smith. We got We are home for the Seattle Seahawks. I have this one as a win too, but I think that this is gonna be like one of those ugly wins. I mean, they have some talent. Those boys have some talent. So, I'm putting my faith in Aaron Rodgers. It's blind faith, but it's faith. So I'll start it off with Gunny. Gunny, where do you have us with this one?
Yeah, listen, Geno Smith is not Aaron Rodgers, right? And I like the wide receivers, and after that, man, like I feel like that even on the defense side of the football, they've taken a step back. Pete Carroll is no longer there. Let's not forget that part. Right. Pete Carroll is gone, and that's a first ballot Hall of Fame coach. There's going to be a learning curve. I think that's going to impact what we see from the Seattle Seahawks team, and because of that, I just got to go with the continuity aspect of at this point the New York Jets. The defense has continuity, and Aaron Rodgers is going to build continuity with these offensive weapons. So I think by the time we meet up with them, we're going to have the advantage, and they're coming into our house. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Seattle Seahawks taking L here. I don't think Geno Smith is better than Aaron Rodgers, and they've got a lot of retooling to do to kind of figure out who they are as a team and an organization.
Callie,
Yeah, I think with that bye week to get healthy, probably, at that point, there's probably like some vets banged up. So having the bye week is huge. And then coming out with, an extra week of preparation and then playing a quarterback that's not as good as Aaron Rodgers, a new coach over there, their strengths we play well against, like their receivers are their biggest strengths, DK, JSN, Lockett. And we have the corners to match up with them, in my opinion. So I would say the Jets probably come out with a win in that one as well.
What you got, Liam?
Dan Pennington.
You're not going to like this one. A loss. Oh. I could never stand Geno Smith as our quarterback because of his immaturity more than anything. If we would have gotten the Geno Smith of Seattle, I think the Jets would have had an amazing trajectory moving forward, even with Rex Ryan as our head coach, moving on from Mark Sanchez. But that whole broken jaw thing, I know I don't want to revisit the past, but it always left a really sour taste in my mouth. And now Geno Smith comes back, very mature, very. That offense runs through him. If you had any other quarterback to come in there to like kind of supplant Russell Wilson, as soon as Geno Smith went in there, they did not miss a beat. I see him coming into MetLife, not wiping the floor, but winning that game. I see it. I hate to say it.
Okay. All right. No, I have them getting a win here. Now, however, on the road in Miami, I have them taking a loss here. I do. So what are you guys thinking? On the road in Miami, I think that they're still a very talented team. You could argue that their defense took a step back, but their offense is still pretty elite. So,
yeah, listen, I hate to admit it, but the Miami Dolphins, I think they got worse this year. I will say that they got worse. I don't think they got better. I think losing Wilkins, that sucks. You losing Hunt, that sucks. But they replaced those guys with a bunch of depth pieces. I guess they're trying to go ahead and pursue the play by committee aspect, but they don't have what I would call a superstar on the defensive line or on the offensive line. But what they do have is the best wide receiver room in all of football. What they do have is, I believe, a proven best running back room in all of football. Those guys lit it up last year. And for me, I believe more so in what McDaniel can do as a freaking head coach. I think that dude is a offensive guru. So we're going to catch our L. We're going to catch an L here in Miami against the Miami Dolphins. It's a division game. I think with the addition of OBJ, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Waddle. They added the Jalen Wright kid under running. I don't know how they got Malik Washington. That agitates the crap out of me that they were able to get their hands on that kid. It's a lot of firepower, man. It's a lot of firepower. And the thing is, McDaniel knows how good our defensive line is, and he's going to go ahead and put Tua in the best situation to get the ball out of his hands with those precise timing routes, and Tua can execute those pretty darn well. So unfortunately, it's just a little bit too much for us, and they wound up getting a W in Miami. So we're now I think 9-3 on
9-3. Yep.
What you got,
Callie?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that team could just put up points, they can have drives that are 30 seconds with McDaniel's calling plays over there. So I think we ultimately split Miami. So just going chalk, like I say, we probably lose on the road, which is okay. Like they probably just outscore us. Like their offense will probably be a top 5 unit, and as long as we get a split with them, it's okay. If we go 4-2 in the division, that's still probably enough to win the division. And I think their defense is good enough. It did get worse, like you guys mentioned, but the offense is just it's a different animal. So I say we take an L in Miami as well.
Dan,
that rivalry, that's the rivalry in the AFC East. It's the Jets and the Dolphins. It's not the Jets and the Pats, not the Jets and the Bills. Forever, for the past 30 to 35, 40 years, it's always been, and it has been rekindled again. The Jets have not forgotten about the Fail Mary on Black Friday. They have not forgotten. The Jets, with, again, what we had at quarterback, we always matched up well defensively. Yes, they got OBJ, but we got Michael Carter. They got Waddle. We got DJ Reed. They got Hill. We got Sauce. We're winning in Miami. We're winning.
Oh.
And then, well, you know what? We'll get to the season finale. We'll build it up. But that game right there in Miami, we win, and we win big.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait.
What's your score prediction for that?
41-24.
Oh, damn.
I just want to chop up some of Gunny's quotes. We got the one from earlier. We got yeah. I just want to throw some of these out there later on.
Okay,
I'm telling you, we look good, man. We're gonna be. It's a different. Again, as long as the offensive line is stout, Brees is going to be doing things that. This is the reason why Joe Douglas drafted him. I'm looking at a 1,200-yard performance this season with Brees Hall, and Garrett Wilson. I see him breaking Brandon Marshall's single-season franchise record of what he had in 2015, because he finally has an actual quarterback throwing passes.
That's facts.
Who?
Yeah, man.
You could have that.
Mm-hmm.
So, getting into week 15, we are back on the road.
The Cali Jets give us his opinion.
Yeah,
on the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I think offense too good. We take an L. That's okay though. Later in the season, we're good.
All right, so we're heading back on the road. Another 1:00 game. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Liam, you didn't give your prediction.
I said that we're going to lose this one.
Oh,
we're against the Dolphins. But don't worry. We're building up to it. We're building up to it.
It's okay. It's going to be a banger in the end. I promise you that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I have us beating the Jacksonville Jaguars, though. I was at that game, that Thursday night monsoon game, we lost. So that's like a little personal revenge game. I really want to see Aaron Rodgers go out there and just put the girl, in his place, Trevor Lawrence. So, and I just don't. Yeah, I don't think that they're a great team. I think they lost Calvin Ridley. So. They don't have a whole lot of talent. I think that we're the better. I hate to say it, but on paper, we're the more talented team. I think that we should run through these guys. I'm going to say that we win. I'm going to say 35-24. Gunny?
So I'm going to say something here that's probably going to be very controversial.
Love it.
Okay. Love it.
And that is Trevor Lawrence is technically a bust on what he was supposed to be.
Yes, you're right.
Really?
We were promised this guy was supposed to be generational. We were promised he was the next Andrew Luck. He was supposed to come out swinging and be the savior of a franchise, and his golden locks were going to go ahead and slice up defenses in the NFL level. I think Trevor Lawrence is at very best an average quarterback at the NFL level. And for what he was supposed to be, that means he's a bust. And I don't think that's going to change. I don't think he's going to all of a sudden elevate himself to another level. The guy is a turnover machine. He loves to fumble the ball. The pressure that this defensive line is going to get on that young man is going to be immense. He's not going to be able to go ahead and make anything happen. He's got he's got no legitimate targets that I would consider to be anything for us to fear. And yeah, I think ultimately it's going to be a defensive onslaught. I think our defense is going to feast that game. I see several turnovers. I see. Yeah, Armand beautifully says he's a high-end version of Kirk Cousins and Dak. That's what Trevor Lawrence is. And he was supposed to be the next guy, the next him. He's not him. And you're going to see several turnovers in this game, to include a pick six that gets returned by Sauce Gardner. I believe this is going to be one of 2 pick sixes that Sauce Gardner gets this year, and Trevor's going to deliver one of them. And they're going to catch an L. They're going to lose, and they're going to lose convincingly because they don't have the dogs.
Do you think Trevor Lawrence would have been better on the Jets? Because I remember like the whole like tank for Trevor thing, and then we ended up like I don't know, like we zoinked for Zach or something. Like,
honestly, no. I think in New York it would have been too much for him. Starting off slow, we really didn't have much of a roster in year one that I think could have allowed him to be supported and elevated. And I don't think we had the coaching staff that would allow him to succeed. Adam Gase wouldn't know what to do with freaking Trevor Lawrence. So I would say no, right? And that would start him off in a slump. Again, when you're in New York, man, the people don't realize the pressure matters here. Like, you've got to be able to handle the pressure. He's right now tucked away in Jacksonville being mid to average, and they're praising him for it. So he doesn't have to worry about really the destruction of being called out for being mid. But if he was in New York, I think he would have been broken by now. I don't think he would have been able to survive the onslaught from Jets fans, the media. Trevor Lawrence is mid, man. And for what he was supposed to be, he's not even close. They used the term generational for Lawrence. They did over and over and over again. And I think that's when I realized that term is wasted. We haven't seen a generational quarterback since freaking Andrew Luck, but I'm starting to believe that CJ Stroud might be that generational guy we've been waiting to see for a while. I think that's the guy that we can say can have that. But yeah, man, I don't see this being a match. If I'm being honest, we should be able to go in there and dog walk these guys.
Callie?
Yeah, for some reason he's given the benefit of the doubt, maybe because it's like a small market team, but like right? Like at best he's been like maybe like top 15-ish, borderline. Most of his games, like if you look at his like stat line, like he doesn't really go over 1 touchdown. Like the last half of the season, he had like over 1 touchdown, like 1 time. So and he gets shaken up. Like if you get pressure on him early in the game, he's no better than Daniel Jones. I'm not saying he's that player, but when you get pressure on him, he struggles. And that team, like you guys said, like no one really scares you on that team. Like ETN, maybe, sure. But receiver-wise, not much that like our corners won't be able to handle. The O-line's okay, but our D-line's better. So I think, yeah, we probably go in there and beat the shit out of them in that game before we hit the next 3 games. Tough stretch. So I think this will be an important game for our like AFC East hopes for sure.
I see us winning. I see us winning this game, but I'm going to play devil's advocate with Trevor Lawrence if the Jets would have drafted him. To me, honestly, all this Jets team needed from the standpoint of the defense was a Mike White, if you think about it. Just from game one, we didn't need him to be generational or whatnot. Just some sustained drive to give the defense break, some kind of rest and whatnot. I think Trevor would have been that. But to your point, Gunny, I think he would have, from an outside perspective, still would have been a bust because he's not that upper echelon quarterback. But for the Jets, I think he would have been a perfect fit just to get the Jets into the playoffs. And then happens what it may, but he wouldn't be that difference maker. He would be our Mark Sanchez of 2009, 2010. Just ground and pound, defense top 3. And once you go into the playoffs, anything could happen. But as far as generational, he's not that. Unfortunately, he's not that. We win this game convincingly, probably again, 38-17.
Sweet. So moving on here now, we have a home game against the LA Rams. I have this one as another win.
Yeah, baby.
I mean, it's hard to count out Matthew Stafford. I mean, even at his age, and they got some talent over there. Cooper Kupp, they got some boys over there. However, I just think the Jets are the better team. I don't like. I think that they're being really overhyped, and I don't know if that's just me thinking that they're overhyped or if they actually are. I don't think that the Rams are like a big force to be reckoned with. I mean, like they lost Aaron Donald, but they still got some talent over there. I don't think that's going to be like a completely blown out game.
Mhm.
I'm thinking 27-24, somewhere in there. Like that's what I mean, that's all I think that we really need. Like we don't need Aaron Rodgers to be like a top 5 quarterback, throwing for 3-4 touchdowns every game. I think that we just need to be serviceable. I think this offense is going to run through Breece Hall overall, which is why I'm kind of keeping my scores for the most part pretty low.
Mm.
I think that we just need to just do enough to win. Like I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is going to be a game manager, but I don't think he needs to be MVP level Aaron Rodgers. If that's what we get from him, great. But I don't think that's what we need. So I think that we're going to get the win here. I think that we are the more talented team, and I'm interested to see what Gunny thinks about this one, because the Rams are like a team that's been everyone's saying, they're still a really good team. I think they're a decent team. I don't think they're a great team. Gunny?
Yeah, I think I'm with you on this. I think in regards to the talent level, it's night and day. I think the Jets definitely got them beat there. But yeah, I think we sleep on this one. I think this is one of those games. It's going to be one of those trap games. They're looking past them at the Buffalo Bills and at the Miami Dolphins because we're getting closer and closer to securing the AFC East or that playoff spot. And I think this is one of those situations where a trap game is had. And unfortunately, we fall asleep at the wheel, and it's just enough for the Rams to take advantage and kind of squeak one by us. Not because they're more talented. This is going to be legitimately one of those things where they didn't win the game, but the Jets lost the game. I have a feeling as we're getting to the end of it all, and they're seeing the finish line, and they're seeing the AFC title ahead of them. A lot of excitement is going to be had in that building, to include the coaching staff who've never felt this kind of experience before. And I think that's when you go ahead and start getting distracted, thinking, okay, we got to go ahead and make sure we win the Buffalo Bills, make sure we beat the freaking Miami Dolphins. We're obviously more talented than the Rams. That we should focus on the next week. And I think we make that kind of a mistake. And that's going to be what winds up giving us an L against the Rams.
Fair enough. Callie?
Is this a Mike LaFleur revenge game here?
Oh,
I think, yeah. I think the talent, big difference, but also off the field, like the coaching difference. Like the Rams, McVay is probably a top 3 head coach.
Yep.
Saleh at this point, bottom 5 to 10. So I think there's that aspect, and everyone had them like penciled in as having a top 5 pick in this year's draft, and they went into playoffs and almost made a deep run. So I think it's more than just like on paper in this one. So I think we probably lose this game late in the season with the coaching mismatch. They're probably fighting for a playoff spot as well at this point in the NFC. So I think we probably come out with an L here, which is okay though, as long as we take care of business in one of the next 2 games.
I feel once we get to this point, right, against the Rams, it's going to be heated again with the Dolphins and the Bills and us just trying to get that AFC East title. Winning that division, it might put us at maybe the 2 or maybe the 1 seed. That's why I have the Jets losing against the Vikings as a trap game. So I want them to kind of understand, okay, you know what? We can't fall into this same realm anymore. That's a cross-country trip that the Rams are going to be doing. And I don't even know at what point they're going to be in their season, because they have a pretty competitive division as well, right? So at that point, they come over, they're going to be, kind of battle-tested here and there, but I see us winning that game and giving us that kind of championship type of bout between the Bills and the Dolphins the next two weeks. The Jets win against the Rams. At that point, I would have them at 11-4 at that point. Then it's game on.
Yeah, back to Buffalo.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
I hate going to Buffalo.
Yeah, December 29th too, so it's going to be cold, and it's probably going to be like one of those snowy games. I have us losing this game. I don't think that we sweep the Bills this year. You still got to give them some respect as much as they have degressed. I think especially heading into their stadium where it is snowy and Bills Mafia is going to be showing up for that one. I think that we take a loss here. I think that this is our final loss of the season. So I have us ending the season with 4 losses. Little spoiler, I have us ending 13-4, but this is the last this is the last loss of the year. So don't think that we sweep the Bills. I still think that they are a good football team, although they have lost a lot. Gunny, what are you thinking here?
It's going to be December 29th. It's going to be freezing. It might even be snowing. But you know what? We have a quarterback that has played in 3 of the coldest NFL games of all time in Aaron Rodgers, a guy who has thrived in those games and won in those games, a guy literally coming from the frozen tundra that is Lambeau Field. I don't believe the cold is going to be an issue for the New York Jets. What I do believe is that sleeping on the Buffalo Bills is just something I can't do. These are the guys that have won the division in the last 4 years. Josh Allen is a top quarterback in this league, as much as I would hate to admit it. Somehow, some way, by this point of the season, they're scrapping and trying to find a way to go ahead and get themselves a wild card. And these guys are going to be hungry. I think that level of hunger, and again, knowing their opponent and we're in their house, is going to be just enough for them to go ahead and squeak a win on us. And the Jets lose here against the Buffalo Bills. I'm with Liam on this one. I don't think we're there yet to be able to sweep these guys. If we do it, great, right? But the respect has to be given to the team that's owned the division for the last several years. Josh Allen is a bona fide franchise guy. He's one of the faces of the NFL. And I think they do just enough. They find a way to go ahead and create the perfect game plan, and they squeak a win in against us in that matchup. So I'm at my 5th loss at this point. So we're going on a little mini losing streak. So that's my 5th loss right there. We're 11-5 at the moment.
Kelly?
Yeah, I think this one's probably just the weather late in the season. I think this one's probably a loss as well. Late in the season, going to Buffalo, like Josh Allen's legs are usually the difference maker in the games. Like he's not afraid to put his head down and just take off, which probably will be the difference. Because their receivers aren't good, but when it's that cold, maybe snowing, we can't really utilize like our strengths as much, and they're at home and it's snowing. Josh Allen's taking off, like they have a solid run game. So, I think this late season push, I think we probably split with the Bills. So I'll use this one as the loss in that matchup.
Fair enough. Yep.
You guys probably aren't seeing it right now, but I'm wearing green colored contact lenses because at this point, I see the Jets going to Buffalo. This is the reason why you get AR8. You get Rodgers to showcase what we've been lacking, and that's that championship football mentality. We go to Buffalo. It's going to be a tough one. Snow and Gunny, you stole the thunder right from me. Any other region where it's freezing beyond Buffalo, it's Green Bay. He's used to this. That fire is still there. We win the game slightly, probably 32-30 or whatnot, 34-27. We win the game, and lo and behold, AFC East title, last game of the season against the Dolphins at home.
I like it.
Let's do it. Let's kick ass.
Yeah. So here we go. So right now it says Miami Dolphins at home TBD. To steal a quote from our boy Zach, anytime, any place, anywhere. Ending the season, having them come up to us. Historically, the Miami Dolphins do not play well in the cold, and I'm not just talking about that Kansas City game because that was some wicked weather like that. That's not even really fair. So yeah, but I do think that we're going to beat the Dolphins this time. Coming into our house, we tend to play them hard, especially at home. I'm looking forward to it, man. I have us getting the W. I have us ending at 13-4 and winning the AFC East for the first time since 2002. And this is only the beginning. So that's my prediction. Gunny, what are you thinking?
The Miami Dolphins come to New York. The temperature is definitively going to be below 50 degrees at this part of the year. Tua does not play well in temperatures under 50 degrees. He tends to struggle quite a bit. That offense literally depends a lot on speed and timing routes. the elements are going to become a part of the defensive game plan for these guys. And I just don't think they got the dogs. They're more of a finesse team. They're not a very physical team. And when the elements get involved, the defense is going to be able to go ahead and do their thing. They just don't have enough in order for it to go ahead and add up. New York Jets get the W at home against the Miami Dolphins, going 12-5, securing the bag for the AFC East championship and getting a home playoff game.
Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah, the whole thing is just keeping Aaron Rodgers healthy here. That's really like not just Aaron, the whole team. That's really what this depends on. I could see this as being a very realistic schedule, a very realistic expectations, I should say. Health is the big thing, man. Yeah, comment right here, BIWA. Callie, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, we saw the Dolphins against the Chiefs in that playoff game, and the cold weather. Like, they're probably not even beating the Carolina Panthers in that game. Like, they looked horrible. So, coming to New York, New Jersey, late in the season, they can't utilize their strengths. Our defense is stout enough to take away any counters that they have. So, yeah, I think they come in, and that'll probably be a huge game, like you guys said, maybe for the division. I'm not with you guys with the 13-win stuff, but again, I would love it. I'm thinking more like 10 wins, but yeah, these last 3 games are going to be ginormous. Like, if we can take care of business after the bye, especially like the schedule makers like made it like perfect for us with the Bills and Dolphins at the end, like 2 tough games, but one of those games probably decides the division. So yeah, them coming in the weather, and I think we get a W in that one.
We win the East. We're finally getting what we deserved for the longest already, for beyond 12, 13 years, this slump that we've been in. We win the East. We host finally a playoff home game. We're the number 2 seed. We're the number 2 seed. We reached the AFC Championship game against the Kansas City Chiefs. This is where you brought Aaron Rodgers. This is what it's all about as an all-in year. The defense, these past 3 years, they've been waiting for that opportunity. See you guys in February at the Super Bowl. See you guys.
I love it. I love it. One Jets pod said this division is ours for the taking.
It is. It definitely is, man. Like, you see all these other teams. The Patriots, they suck. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's a family show. They suck. The Bills, they're diminished with talent. You got Deion Dawkins. Get out of here. Please, stop. The Dolphins, I get it. Talented. Bring it. Why can't we sweep the East? Why not? Why not? Bring it, man. Again, health is a concern. I understand that. But this is why Joe Douglas built this roster, starting from January onward up until now, and he's still not done yet. And again, hopefully what Gunny, you said, Diggs becomes a Jet. We solidified yet another position, a void. We're ready to go, man. I'm ready, dude. I am stoked for this season. So I am.
As am I, man. I think injuries are our biggest enemy. That's really what it is. If we could keep the injuries to a minimum. I know that they actually the Jets fired their what's even the title of that, like the health department or whatever,
the tech health department or whatnot.
Yeah.
They sucked. They sucked at their job anyway, so no loss there.
It's injuries in the MetLife turf. Callie, what do you think?
I was talking to.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Callie.
No, go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, I was talking to Dano, man, and Dano said something that I thought really made a lot of sense, and I think he's got a very, very valid point. If the New York Jets can get either a healthy O-line for the season or a healthy Aaron Rodgers for the season, they're making the playoffs.
Yep.
If they can get both, they're pushing for the AFC Championship game. And he said that, and I thought to myself, bro, that makes a lot of sense. You know, I think Tyrod Taylor is more than capable of taking this team to the playoffs if he's behind this offensive line. Aaron Rodgers is smart enough and quick enough to go ahead and alleviate some of the concerns that the offensive line takes some L's. But if they stay healthy together, AFC Championship is really the target. Like, health is really our biggest op, and I really believe that.
Yeah, absolutely. Callie?
I want to point out, like, I see everyone on Twitter kind of talking about schedule makers fucked over the Jets, but, like, what do you expect in the AFC? Like, 10 out of the top 14 teams are in our conference. So it's like this with every team. Like, At least, we have the first 5-6 games. Like the NFL gave us a layup. Like we're able to go 4-2, 5-1.
Yep.
And start off hot. Whereas last year, what do we have? The Chiefs, Eagles, Bills, Cowboys. Like this year, we have rookies and a tough one in San Francisco. But besides that, like there's opportunity for us to like secure some games in the bank where if we have a midseason like loss like the Vikings or Steelers or something, like it'll be okay. So I'm okay with the schedule overall. And again, the AFC is a different monster than the NFC, where they have the Commanders, Cardinals, Panthers, Giants, those type of teams. So it's tough for everyone. You just got to take care of your business, try to stay healthy. If your QB is good, you'll be good.
100%. We're going to wrap this up here. Final predictions here. Liam, how far is this Jets team going? Go for it.
Super Bowl. I'm saying it right here.
Yep.
For me, it's AFC it's AFC Championship game or bust. I don't think that this is just you don't get Aaron Rodgers just to make the playoffs and maybe just win a playoff game. Now, I get it. It's huge expectations considering where the Jets have been for the last 10 plus years. But the New York Jets have not been as talented as they are now for the last 10 plus years. That's the biggest difference. Like I sound like a broken record. If everybody could stay healthy, just the majority. I mean, like guys are going to get nicked and banged up. Like if we need Tyrod Taylor to come in for a couple of games. Now, God forbid, knock on wood here, if there's a season-ending injury to any of these main positions, we're probably not having the same conversation. But if we could find a way to stay healthy, rally these troops, if we could see Robert Saleh as a true head coach that could maybe scheme against guys like Andy Reid, like some of these big guys, I don't see a reason why this team isn't Super Bowl bound. Simple as that. Gunny?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think that this is the most talent the Jets have ever had in my life. Since 1996 as a Jets fan, I've never seen a roster more talented. We've seen them get to the AFC Championship game twice, right, with significantly less talent than this. It's a team of guys that I think also has a perfect combination of veteran presence and young, youthful stars. The quarterback is a first ballot Hall of Famer who's had a chip on his shoulder, trying to get back to the Super Bowl to win another one, trying to get himself into that multi-championship caliber of a winner. It just makes too much sense. Super Bowl is the only outcome here. Super Bowl is what the Jets are supposed to be targeting. My floor is an AFC Championship game, but I believe this team, again, like Liam said, if they stay healthy, they compete with anybody. And I'm not going to lie to you, man. I feel like on paper, and I know that sounds ridiculous to say, but on paper, I don't see another team pound for pound that has more talent than the New York Jets. And I'll even say that about the freaking 49ers. I think I like our secondary better, and we have 2 all-pro linebackers. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while since you've heard that about those guys. I like the youth of Breece Hall better than Christian McCaffrey and what he can be. And I definitely like Aaron Rodgers better than Brock Purdy. So pound for pound, I think the New York Jets have the best roster in the NFL. At the very least, they're in the top of the echelon of that conversation. We've seen that all over some rankings. So for me, it's Super Bowl. You built this roster. You brought in Aaron Rodgers. You've got the defense. You've got the special teams. The offense was the last key, and you put all your chips onto the offense this offseason. You the offensive line, the wide receivers. You added more running backs. Aaron Rodgers is back. That was the missing piece. Super Bowl or bust. I believe the AFC Championship game is definitively going to be where we wind up. I think that's going to be a battle of us and Kansas City to go ahead and get into the Super Bowl, or us and the Ravens to get into the Super Bowl. But yeah, man, without question, for me, I'm with you, Liam, the Super Bowl. And
now,
I'll accept an AFC Championship game.
Do we get a home playoff game this season?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, once you win the AFC East, you get a home playoff game.
Yeah, well, yes. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Callie?
Yeah, I would say I would agree with the roster thing. Like, I'm generally slightly pessimistic, but we probably, like, on paper, like, I think we're the best roster in the NFL. Obviously, there's different factors with coaching staff, age, stuff like that. But I think conference championship is where I would predict ultimately coming out with the loss there. But anything could happen late in the season. I just like with predictions, like I try in playoffs, I try to lean on like the QB coach duo, and like thus far, D'Amico Stroud, Harbaugh, Lamar, Reed, Mahomes, those guys are all proven. So I would give them a slight edge, but that's not to say, I mean, Saleh, like this is a do or die year for him. So if we see improvement from him, healthy Rodgers, they'll be in that combo too. So, but I won't predict Super Bowl. I'll predict conference championship. But would love to be on your guys' track with the Super Bowl. So we'll see.
Cool.
That's how I look at it. I mean, it's crazy, right? Like, is this roster setting us up for failure as Jet fans, right? Like last year we had the same expectations and whatnot. It's a 3-year window. Now it's a 2-year window. Look, man, this is it. Forget about next year. This is what we have right now. We have no idea what's going to happen after the season, but our moment to seize the day, it's right here. I'm looking at the team and shit, you guys are going to think I'm crazy. I think it's going to be AFC Championship game here at MetLife, Jets against the Bengals. We win the game, we go into the Super Bowl. Crazy, but it can happen. Once we get to the Super Bowl, I don't know who we're going to face.
The Bengals have beat Kansas City in the postseason.
They have. That's true. The Bengals have been their Achilles heel.
What if that's psychic?
Why'd I say
don't say it.
I'm sorry. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I don't know why I said
that. What if that psychic guy was a year off?
That's what I said. I was like, what if his prediction was just he overshot in the year, right? He overshot it into next season.
It happens. We all overshoot every once in a while. It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Who would you guys want to face in the Super Bowl? Like who would be the most entertaining matchup? And who would you guys want to face, like realistically? Like what would
Packers.
Be the
shit. Packers would be the most.
That's easy.
Talk about a storyline. That would be that would be great. The Jets versus Packers in the Super Bowl would be cherry on top. To the Aaron Rodgers might, if Aaron Rodgers beat them, I promise you he'd retire. That's the only thing. He'd retire. If he beat the Packers in the Super Bowl this year, he'd be like, yeah, that's a mic drop. I'm done. I'm gonna walk away.
That's cool with me, man. That's cool with me.
I'd be okay with it. I'd be fine with it too. But yeah, I think Packers would be by far the most fun Super Bowl we could wish for as Jets fans if we get there. When we get there.
I think it's them. I think it's the 49ers up there. Even the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions too.
Yeah.
I like the Lions, so like I don't want to see them just because like I would like to see like the Lions have their moments, but not before my Jets.
Not before my Jets. No. Sorry.
I'm gonna go
wait your turn.
Jets Cowboys. Rodgers versus McCarthy.
Cowboys.
Rodgers versus McCarthy. It's a storyline there.
Oh, the storyline. Okay. Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know how things turn out, man. You never know.
You know what I've always said? It's not realistic this year, but Jets Giants in the Super Bowl. Imagine that.
Yeah,
that would be something. That would be something. Bro, the tri-state area would be insane.
Forget it.
If both New York teams made it to the freaking Super Bowl, oh my God.
I'd have to fight at least like 4 neighbors. It'd be like that.
I can't stand the Giants. I can't.
Yeah, Giants need a fucking quarterback. Like this is what, year 3 for him, and still with Daniel Jones.
Yeah, it's a wrap. And they gotta suck it up for one more year too, because they paid that bum $40 million. Morons.
That's fantastic. Phenomenal. Love it.
Hey,
now with that, listen,
sucks so bad that they flame out and we don't have to pay them. Like that's like a slight positive that we're not in that Derek Carr, Daniel Jones, like Baker Mayfield, like that type of like pay these average guys fucking $50 million a year.
Hey, the Dolphins are about to do it.
Dolphins.
Dolphins are about to do it, man. He signs, man.
They're going to give him 50 to 60 mil. I can't wait for it.
That'd be fantastic.
Can't wait for it. Yeah.
Guys, listen, I want to just thank you guys for coming on the show. Gunny, again, just taking time off just to be on the show. Where can they find you?
Yeah, brother. They can find me on the New York Jets Situation Report. I go live on Tuesday nights, the Hang or Hangout. You can also find me on Thursday nights on the Thursday Thick of It with Green Bean. But yeah, man, just and on Twitter, social media, I'm everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Did I say Twitter? Twitter, and of course YouTube. But yeah, talking Jets, man. It's exciting. The offseason just got a little bit more exciting now. I got some videos dropping on Friday in regards to my prediction and my breakdown of the schedule. So check it out on Friday night.
Hell yeah, man. Callie, look, thank you again, because your takes on Twitter, out of the park, man. We always love it. You're always on fire there. So thank you so much for, again, coming on the show. This is the first time we're ever meeting you, and you brought the heat today. Where can they find you?
Cali Jets on Twitter, and then this summer I'm going to set something up podcast-wise. So I'll be seeing you three gentlemen around on here more often. So look forward to that. But yeah, I'll announce something soon. But yeah, definitely talk to you guys soon. It was good. It was good being on here today, going over the schedule. But yeah, definitely look forward to future conversations as well.
Without a doubt. And again, we go live tomorrow night again at 9 p.m. That is a call-in show. We're also going to have special guest Joe Blewett from Jets X Factor. So guys, call in. It should be a fun, packed show, especially when callers call in. It wreaks havoc. So it's going to be a good one. So Liam, dude, always partner to the highest, man. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Likewise, man.
Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.